So now that we've covered the cheapest Motorola phone in the Moto E, now let's find out what you get for $50 more with the Moto G Fast. So this one is also 32 gigabytes. It's got 3 cameras on the back instead of 2, an ultra wide, a 16 megapixel rapid focus, and a macro lens. Now this is an unlocked version with 32 gigabytes. Currently at $200, but I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing and more information. It's got a Snapdragon 665 octa-core processor with 3 gigabytes of RAM. This one advertises 2 days of battery life with a 4000 milliamp hour battery. And it's got a 6.4-inch Max Vision HD Plus display at 19:9 aspect ratio. Screen resolution is 1560 by 720. Just like the Moto E, it's got a water repellent design, so you don't have to worry about spills or splashes. It also has Moto Game Time, which blocks interruptions and gives easy access to tools and apps. It also has the exclusive Moto Experiences to let you use gestures to navigate your phone's features. It comes with Android 10 right out of the box. This one does have a 10-watt rapid charging, where you only get 5-watt charging with the Moto E. This one weighs in at 189.4 grams. It only comes in one color, pearl white. Now this one has Bluetooth 5.0 instead of 4.2 like the Moto E has. Unfortunately, you don't get NFC with this model. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we've got. It definitely has a little bit of weight to it. Quick start guide and safety information. SIM and micro SD card removal tool. Good thing is this comes with USB-C for charging and your 10-watt charging brick. Okay, so the design on this definitely looks a little more high-end than the Moto E. Chrome around the edges. On the back, it looks like you've got a real shiny plastic. I gotta say, this one looks really sharp in person. I kinda like this better than the Moto G stylus, which is $100 more. There on the back, you can see the 3 cameras and flash, and then the fingerprint scanner where the logo is. SIM card tray there on the left-hand side. Power and volume buttons there on the right-hand side. Headphone jack and microphone there on the top. There on the bottom is the USB-C charging port along with the microphone and speaker. Now on this one you've got a hole punch camera up in the left-hand corner. I don't know if I like that better than the teardrop in the center. Here's a quick size comparison just to show you the difference between the Moto G Fast, Moto E, and the Moto G stylus. You can see it's very close to the Moto G stylus. Really the only thing that gives it away is it's got a little bit bigger bezel there along the bottom, and it's a hair taller overall than the Moto G stylus. Again, in my opinion, the Moto G Fast definitely looks the best. Now when you start, the navigation is going to be on gestures, but you can always go into the settings and change it back to button navigation. And just like on other Moto phones, you're going to get Moto Actions. They'll also give you some Moto Tips, Moto Display, Moto Game Time. Within Moto Actions, you can do Quick Capture, Fast Flashlight, 3-finger screenshot, Screenshot Toolkit, Flip for Do Not Disturb, Pick Up to Silence, Media Controls, and Swipe to Shrink. You swipe left of the home screen, you're going to get the Google News feed. Swipe anywhere on the home screen to get your notification shade. Once inside there, you'll have shortcuts to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Do Not Disturb, Flashlight, Auto Rotate, Battery Saver, Mobile Data, Airplane Mode, Night Light, System Update, Screencast, and Feedback. Then if you swipe up on the home screen, you'll get access to all of your apps. It looks like I'm currently using 40% of the 32 gigabytes available. I think one of the biggest downsides to cheaper phones like this is the storage. I feel like it should be at least 64 gigabytes. I'm going to switch it back to 3-button navigation, mainly because I think it's always faster. then gestures. This is on Android 10, March 1, 2020 security patch. One thing I mentioned before in my Moto E video is how much I like the software on Motorola phones. They just like to keep everything nice and stock with a little bit of extra customization. You've also got styles where you can create custom themes with unique fonts, colors, and icon shapes. Now for the screen lock, you get none, swipe, pattern, pin, and password. And then obviously you've got the fingerprint scanner, which actually seems to work really fast. Let's test out the speaker real quick so you can see what it sounds like. Resolution on app, an idea of what it looks like. Phone nowadays. So hopefully this video gave you a better look at the new Moto E 2020 version that was just released. Okay, so it only has one speaker on the bottom, but overall, I think it's plenty loud enough compared to other phones that I've tested. Now, resolution in apps like YouTube and Netflix, you're obviously going to get 720p. When gaming, I noticed the graphics settings on PUBG Mobile was the same as the Moto E, which is at smooth and medium frame rates. While playing, everything looked nice and smooth without too much choppiness or lag. And I tested out Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 9 as well just to see how they would do. No problems there, they ran nice and smooth as well. Just make sure that you turn off adaptive brightness because the screen kept going dark while I was playing. So if you want a cheaper device to play games, I would definitely choose this one over the Moto E. Mainly because I can use the new Razer USB-C controller that just came out. And besides that, the screen seems to be a little bit brighter on the G Fast versus the Moto E. Here's some more game footage to give you an idea of what it looks like on the Moto G Fast. Now when it comes to the camera app, you get a few more options than on the Moto E. So it looks very similar. In the middle you've got camera, swipe to the right, you got video, and swipe to the left and you get portrait, cutout, macro, spot color, cinematograph, panorama, live filter, and then you get 3 video modes: macro, slow motion, and time lapse. The nice thing is on the rear camera, you can go up to 4K, Ultra HD resolution, or 4K at 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. Now you don't get 4K on the front camera, but it does go up to Full HD. You get 3 different aspect ratios for the selfie camera: 4:3, 16:9, or 19.5 by 9. Same thing on the rear camera. The difference is you get a 16 megapixel or 8 megapixel resolution to choose from. You also get quick capture, tap anywhere to capture, shutter sound, grid lines, leveler, watermark, and then you've also got Google Lens and save location. You'll notice if you get real close to something, it wants to switch to macro. Overall, it seems like the shutter speed is pretty quick on here. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect from the Moto G Fast. Now, one thing that I did notice when taking photos, somehow I ended up on the macro mode and the photos didn't look quite right. And I think it's because it's a lower resolution. But once I switched back to the regular photo mode, I was glad to see the photos were actually pretty decent. And you could tell the resolution looked much better. And just like with any mobile device, you definitely have to be in good lighting. But I think you'll be surprised at what you can get from a budget device like this. The 4K video turned out pretty nice as well. As you can see from this sample footage, I also tested out the front-facing camera, and even though it's not 4K, it still looked nice and clear in my opinion. So hopefully this video gives you a little more info about the Moto G Fast. And if I was trying to decide between this and the Moto E, I would definitely go with this one, mainly because the brighter screen, the design looks better in my opinion, and the faster USB-C charging, which only takes just over 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100% versus 3 hours with the Moto E. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.